The Tower of London. The Tower of London is one of the most feared places in history, built in the 11th century. It was a fortress, a prison, and a place of execution. Thousands of people entered, but many never left alive. The most famous ghost here is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. She was executed in 1536, accused of treason and witchcraft. People say her headless ghost walks through the tower at night. Guards have reported seeing her spirit holding her severed head. Another ghost is the princess in the tower, two young boys who vanished. It's believed they were murdered inside these walls by their uncle. Their cries are still said to echo in the stone corridors. Visitors often feel sudden chills and heavy air. Even animals refuse to enter some rooms. The tower's Bloody Tower and Traitor's Gate are especially feared. Historians say more than 400 years of executions fuel the hauntings. At night, the tower stands as a reminder that blood never leaves stone. Poveglia Island. In the Venice, Italy, lies a Poveglia Island, a place of death. In the 18th century, it was used to quarantine plague victims. Thousands of sick men, women, and children were left there to die. Their bodies were burned in massive pits, turning the soil to ash. Locals say more than 100,000 people perished on this cursed land. Later, in the 20th century, a mental asylum was built on this island. Patients spoke of shadowy figures and voices tormenting them at night. The head doctor was rumored to perform cruel experiments on the insane. Legend says he eventually went mad and threw himself from the bell tower. Witnesses claim he was strangled by ghosts before hitting the ground. Even fishermen refused to sail near the island, fearing spirits will follow them home. Some visitors hearing screams echoing from the ruins. Others have felt sudden hands push them toward the water. The air itself feels heavy, filled with centuries of pain and death. Today, Poveglia is abandoned, closed to the public by law. It's remembered as one of the most haunted places in all of Europe. Aokigahara Forest. At the base of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara, also called the Suicide Forest. For centuries, it has been linked to death, spirits, and dark energy. Also, legends say ancient people once abandoned the weak people here to die. The forest is so dense, sunlight barely touches the ground. Compasses stop working and people quickly lose their way. Every year, around hundreds of people enter, but unfortunately, many never return. The forest is infamous as one of the world's most common suicide sites. Also, Japanese folklore says restless souls called Yori haunt the trees. Hikers have reported hearing whispers and screams in the silence. Some see ghostly figures between the branches, watching them closely. Bright ribbons are tied to trees by those trying to find their way out. But sometimes the ribbons end suddenly, with no one there. Locals warn not to enter after dark, when the spirits are strongest. The forest is so feared, even rescue teams refuse to search at night. Visitors describe an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair. Aokigahara remains a chilling reminder of how the living and the dead walk together. Eastern State Penitentiary. In Philadelphia stands a prison once called Hell on Earth. Eastern State Penitentiary opened in 1829 with a cruel new system. Also, prisoners lived in complete silence and total isolation. They ate, slept, and prayed alone inside cold stone cells. Guards believed silence would make them repent their crimes. Instead, many went insane, their screams echoing through the halls. Whispers say spirits of the tortured still wander the corridors. Visitors report hearing footsteps, doors slamming, and voices in the dark. Cell Block 12 is infamous for loud and ghostly laughter. Cell Block 6 has shadows that move when no one is there. And Cell Block 4 has glowing faces appearing suddenly in the walls. Some guards even refuse to patrol alone at night. In the year of 1990, one man faced a horror scene. While working, he felt a sudden icy hand grip his shoulder. He ran, swearing he heard dozens of spirits whispering his name. Today, the prison is abandoned, but its ghosts remain trapped inside forever. Banff Springs Hotel. In the mountains of Alberta, Canada, stands the Banff Springs Hotel. Built in 1888, it was meant to be a luxury getaway for the rich people. But its halls hide chilling stories of tragedy and restless ghosts. The most famous legend is the bride who died on her wedding day. She tripped on her gown, fell down the grand staircase, and broke her neck. Guests say her spirit still dances in the ballroom, dressed in white. Another ghost is a bellman named Sam Macaulay. He worked at the hotel for years and loved helping guests. Even after his death in the 1970s, people still see him in uniform. He helps with luggage, but when thanked, he vanishes into the air. Guests also speak of an entire family murdered in room 873. Housekeepers refuse to clean certain floors alone at night. Shadows move across hallways and lights flicker without reason. What was built as a paradise is now feared as a haunted palace. Chateau de Brissac. Deep in the lower valley stands the Chateau de Brissac, which is the tallest castle in France. Behind its golden walls lies a dark tale of jealousy and murder. In the 15th century, Jacques de Brissac discovered his wife Charlotte with another man. In a fit of rage, he killed them both inside the castle. Since then, Charlotte's ghost is said to wander the halls. She is called the Green Lady because of her faded green dress. Visitors report seeing her with a horrifying face, hollow eyes and gaping holes. She appears mostly in the tower room where she was killed. Guests who stayed overnight described waking to see her standing at their bedside. Servants once refused to work in the castle after sundown. The owners eventually accepted the haunting as a part of a chateau's identity. Today, the castle is open to tourists who sometimes encounter her spirit. In Chateau de Brissac, love turned to betrayal and betrayal to eternal haunting. Monte Cristo Homestead. In New South Wales, Australia, stands the Monte Cristo Homestead. Built in 1885, it's often called the most haunted house in the country. Its history is filled with tragic deaths and unexplained horrors. The original owners was the Crowley family, lived there for decades. Mrs. Crowley was so strict that she rarely left the house. Locals say her ghost still watches from the balcony. One maid is said to have fallen to her death from the staircase. Another servant burned alive when his bed mysteriously caught fire. Also, a stable boy was found strangled and the culprit was never found. The most terrifying story is of a caretaker's son locked away for years. He lived in chains hidden from the world until discovered after his father's death. Visitors often hear his tortured cries still echoing in the stables. Shadows move across the walls and sudden cold winds sweep the rooms. Some tourists leave shaken, unable to stay inside for long. The homestead now serves as a museum of its own dark past, but its restless spirits make sure no one ever forgets the horrors within. Bhangarh Fort. Deep in Rajasthan, India, lies a Bhangarh Fort, known as the most haunted place in the country. It was built in the 17th century. Legend says a wizard fell in love with a local princess, Ratnavati. When she rejected him, he cursed the entire fort and its people. Soon after, the town was destroyed by mysterious fire and misfortune. Today, ruins of palaces, temples and walls stand silent. Visitors report hearing ghostly cries and seeing shadows in the corners. Some say the prince's spirit still wanders, warning intruders to leave. Locals claim anyone who enters after sunset never returns. Even monkeys and animals avoid the fort as if sensing the curse. The fort's temples are filled with a strange and heavy energy. Archaeologists confirm that the fort was abandoned suddenly with no clear reason. Bhangarh remains a chilling reminder of love, jealousy, and dark magic. To this day, it's forbidden to stay overnight. Myrtles Plantation. In Louisiana, USA, stands the Myrtles Plantation, called one of America's most haunted homes. It was built in 1796. It sits on land said to be cursed by the Native Americans. The plantation was home to the Woodruff family for generations. Legend says a former slave named Chloe poisoned members of the family. Some believe her spirit still roams the halls, seeking revenge. Guests report seeing her shadowy figure in mirrors and hallways. Children hear whispers and see ghostly faces staring at them. One famous room is the upstairs guest room, where unseen hands shake visitors awake. Many doors open and close by themselves, even when locked. Photographs often show unexplained shapes or faces that weren't there. The piano sometimes plays notes by itself in the dead of night. Paranormal investigators have reported sudden drops in temperature. Guests often feel cold touched and feeling of being followed. Some people say Chloe's spirit is still protecting her secrets. The Myrtles Plantation remains a chilling reminder that some curses never fade. Leap Castle. In Ireland, Leap Castle is called the most haunted castle in the world. Built in the 15th century, it was home to the O'Carroll clan. The castle witnessed centuries of violence, betrayal, and murder. Its most infamous spot is the Bloody Chapel, used for sacrificial rituals. In one horrific incident, a priest was killed by members of a clan inside the chapel. His blood is said to have soaked the stones, leaving a dark stain that never disappears. The Elemental is another terrifying spirit, described as a tall and shadowy figure. Witnesses report feeling it push them or follow them silently. Many visitors have seen ghostly monks walking the halls at night. Even doors open and slam shut with violent force. Paranormal investigators often experience strange scratches or bruises. Ghost dogs have also been reported, appearing and disappearing instantly. Leap Castle stands as a grim reminder of past bloodshed and vengeance. If you're still with us, don't forget to like the video and subscribe our channel for more true stories.